Hello, everyone. Welcome to Weekly Insider number 143. Today is Monday, July 11th, 2022, and we are live on Discord and YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us, and please be aware that this call is being recorded and will be available for you to check out later on our Horizen podcast. Also, please remember to send us questions to the team on our Menti link above in chat, and we will also provide it in chat on YouTube as well. So today we're going to go ahead and kick off the update with our engineering department. Welcome, Alberto.
Hi, hello everybody, and as usual, let's start with Zendo. So, as we mentioned last time, we finished all the design activities for managing those sidechain whose use case don't require the seizing functionality, and including a very detailed analysis of the specific changes to be applied. Therefore, we were able to start the development of the activities, and in particular, we started with the update of the fork manager that is required for enabling these new kind of sidechains. And this development is completed, and the pull request introducing such changes has already been opened and already reviewed. Then the next task we started consists in working on the changes that are required by the block and the mempool validations, and the development is currently ongoing. And in parallel with all of these, we are already planning the next code audit activities for the changes that we are applying. Okay, something else always related to Zendo that is worth to mention is that while working on the changes that we mentioned before, we found an area of improvement in the code that stops the minor threads when closing Zend. And basically, the application was not waiting for the termination of these threads, and that could lead to sporadic crashes during the shutdown phase. It was occurring rarely when using the default mining solver, but almost every time when using the optimized Tromp solver. Anyway, we fixed it now. No crashes happening anymore, and also the shutdown time has been reduced. And so a pull request has been opened, and it's now under the first level of review. Okay, that was all for Zendo. Now let's switch to the SDK, and in particular for Blaze, where during the last week we were able to finalize many developments and include them in a new release of Blaze that is named 040. And among the various things, apart from the things already mentioned during the past Weekly Insider, we also included, some general improvements for the API, some improvements for the mempool, and we also introduced optional C sidechain withdrawal handling and in the SDK, and this is specifically useful for testing purposes, and some enhancements to the login system. Obviously, the full list of features and changes is available in the changelog file on GitHub. Okay, apart from these, in parallel, we went on with other things, included the Walder scan logic, where the design has been just finalized. And the two last points that are concerning Blaze are, let me say that we introduced some improvements for the bootstrapping tool by removing the private keys info on the seed from the sidechain creation procedure. So when you bootstrap, you just need the public keys. And we fixed an issue on fee payments not accounted while computing the C sidechain withdrawal info at the epoch of creation. That was all for Blaze, and for what regards the EVM sidechain, we were able to achieve a lot of progress in several areas. And just to name a few of them, the EVM execution processor was completed, and this is one of the most important parts. And most of the RPC server wallet related endpoints were implemented as well. And the Ethereum friendly Merkle 3 implementation was completed and is currently under review. We worked also on the account block sidechain transaction Merkle 3 root calculation, and that also was implemented. And the transfer of Zen between EOA was successfully verified. And the last point regarding the EVM is the account state transaction apply flow that was finalized. So great progress also on the EVM sidechain project. And finally, on the proving system side, during the last couple of weeks, we went on with the analysis on the Plonkish arithmetization and there. Also carrying on several engineering sessions and internal presentations, and we're deeply analyzing the VM memory management alternatives. This is obviously part of the ZK EVM implementation strategy. So, I mean, that's another, let me say, very important point for us. Okay, these were the main points for today. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Alberto. And now I'd like to welcome Vano for BD and operations updates.
Thank you, Erica. Happy Monday. So, one of our point of sale provider, Now Payments, recently added direct fiat of ramping solutions for their merchants and for some of their portfolio of cryptocurrencies as well, including Zen. This means that if a merchant, for example, is using Now Payments and wants to accept Zen, they can do so now while also having a peace of mind of being able to exchange and transfer fiat to their banking account whenever they would like to do so. Obviously, this feature improves usability of the platform a lot, and we congratulate Now Payments as well as thank them for supporting Zen in this early stage of rollout for this new feature. Also, as mentioned before, we are looking forward to improve our coverage of mining pools, and even though I cannot spill any beans today, there are some quite positive movements, and I will keep you posted on this. That's all from me. Back to you, Erica.
I'm so sorry there's no beans from Vano today. But let's go ahead and welcome Victor for product and engineering updates.
Thanks, Erika. For today, we have some updates around the token mint development of the, let's say, backend part, the sidechain itself. We are currently evolving what we envisioned with initial tech spec, implementing a sell order for NFT for when NFT support will be available. And for the EVM sidechain, we started testing it with MetaMask internally, of course, and we tomorrow will have an internal demo showing to our colleagues and let's say as a spoiler on what they will have to work on, because we will start letting them see what is being available already for testing. So the EVM sidechain can connect with MetaMask. We have been working hard to make it work because of the lack of complete documentation around it. But eventually, even with a bit of reverse engineering, we made it working. We also managed in deploying some contracts using the Remix IDE that is available for Ethereum. Pretty much this one, and also for having MetaMask working, we had the requirement of building the so-called chain ID that is asked both by, let's say that this more or less the first call that the tools does to the main to the blockchain. We have made some improvements also on the monitoring system we are developing for the sidechains. We have recently deployed the environment to start testing it, and so we started looking at the a piece called the exporter of information that is providing information from a generic sidechain to UI that is monitoring the virtual machine resources as well. That's all from me. I pass it over to Angie.
All right. Thank you, Victor. And yeah, just to add a little bit more information about Token Mint, as Victor was saying, there's a lot of backend work that's going to be added to our Token Mint chain, but also some pretty exciting updates coming from last week. It was pretty much focused on the mainnet environment tests of all of our stack. And as you know, this includes Cobalt, the Explorer generator, and the Token Mint chain as well. So we want to make sure everything is tested there. Also, the team completed the user guide of Token Mint. It's a very thorough document, 50 pages of how to use the platform, how to use Cobalt, because we want to make sure that users have a smooth experience, and more upcoming versions of our user guide are also going to be released soon. We also perform tests on Sphere because we need the Sphere to be able to support as well Token Mint for the Token Mint release. as well. We also addressed some Cobalt bug fixes that were found during these test sessions that I was mentioning, and some other versions deployed of Cobalt as well. So as you can see there in the slide provided in the image, the mainnet release is upcoming, and it's coming really, really soon. All right, what else? We continue as well on the tool side, the NFT implementations functionality for Cobalt, Explorer, and other features as well. So really, really exciting times, and just stay tuned for more exciting upcoming news. All right, back to you, Erica. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie. Now I'd like to welcome Lucy for the marketing updates.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Angie. Very, very excited for the token and mainnet launch. Last week, we deployed the last round of test any airdrop. So now as we are moving to mainnet, many people have been asking, what will happen to the test any? So we have some really exciting news for the test any holders. There will be a new token launched on the token mainnet. And this is something our community has been asking about too. So the new token is a meme token called Punks with a Z. And all the T-Zenny holders as of July 5th will get a one-on-one airdrop of Punks. The Punks Twitter and the website will release a detailed airdrop schedule. So now you can follow their Twitter at punks_token. So in addition to the T-Zenny holders, the T-Cake holders will also get an airdrop of Punks. We gave out T-Cake to people who came to our 5th anniversary virtual party, if you remember. But if you missed that one, make sure that you will come to our future events, including Weekly Insiders, because we often do giveaways and airdrops for our guests and listeners. So speaking of future events, we have ZenCon 0 coming soon. It is the first ever Horizen Ecosystem Summit hosted by Horizen Labs. So this will also be the first time our entire teams of Horizen and Horizen Labs getting together in person. So for a mostly remote team, this is very exciting. And ZenCon 0 will be hosted in Milan, and that's where our European hub is. So we are also inviting all our ecosystem participants, including partners, advisors, investors, and Zenvangelists, and all the active community members to come to Milan this September to join us. So this is our first ZenCon. It's an invitation-only event, and the spaces are very limited. So if you are interested in attending, speaking, or sponsoring, you will need to submit an application. And July 15th is the last day to apply. So make sure that you apply soon. So you can apply through the ZenCon website. That's zencon.events. So yeah, I hope I hope to see you in Milan this September. That's it from me. Back to you, Erica.
Thank you, Lucy. And I also hope to see everybody in Milan this year. So now I'd like to welcome Rob for the leadership updates and Q&A session.
Well, thank you, Erica. I feel like, guys, we should be in bull market depressed mode right now, but instead this Weekly Insider is just ridiculously exciting. Talking about ZenCon, talking about product deliveries, talking about engineering improvements. I mean, really, this has been, things are moving fast for Horizen, and I'm really happy that we have these types of weekly activities or weekly reports for you guys, just so we can give everyone an insight what's going on. I'll tell you what we do on the back end here of our organization. One administrative thing that always gets me, or has been getting me recently, is we do weekly activity reports, and this most recent one really just kind of blew me away. I kind of submitted my inputs to them over the last couple of weeks with some help, hint hint. But this last week in particular, I just went through it in detail and just really was pleasantly shocked by the amount of work that's ongoing here. So again, I know I stress this, or I say this quite a bit on some of these calls about how our organization is just getting much better and how our capacity to do things has improved significantly. But really, I can't emphasize this enough. It's true. And you're going to see a lot more of this over the second half of the year as these deliveries just get moving and there's momentum around them. So this week, guys, Token Mint, our first sidechain. So really, this is like the week of Token Mint. That's the biggest thing that we can highlight and the most important thing that's going right now. Our first sidechain in production on top of or using Zendo. So for us, again, huge deal. And I've said this cheesy comment before about how, it's one small step for, crypto, one giant leap for Horizen. It's true. The fact that now we have a working sidechain in Horizen that is now minting token or gives us the capability to have tokens, digital assets in Horizen beyond Zen is a really big deal. Now it's just going to snowball as we gain momentum around this and expect throughout the rest of the year, there will be a series of other deliveries on Token Mint and the different products that make up that platform, including Cobalt, adding NFTs and adding different functionality to make things just even easier. You can see the angle that we're going for, that market niche that we really want with this particular platform is just ease of use. So usability, we want people who are new to crypto, people that just want a simple user experience to come here and be blown away relative to other platforms that are out there. So far, what I'm seeing with Token Mint and the tools in Cobalt that are part of it, it's really just getting me excited. So that will be the big thing. Pay attention to it. When that gets released this week. I'm not going to give specific release timing because I want you guys to pay attention. But this is a big deal. We can finally do tokens in Horizen. So it's not just about Zen anymore. Now we actually do have a platform, and it's just a start. So some other big takeaways from you guys, like on the engineering side, we have a lot going on, and Alberto did a fantastic job just walking us through the really big ticket items. But one thing that jumped out at me when I was going through it is going through the updates is the fact that we are also now starting to make use of our own ZenIP process. And this is something that, I know it's like that dorky or wonkish kind of governance thing that now we're finally maturing as an ecosystem and going through just this governance process of publishing what we're going to be doing and getting community comments and feedback on it. So there's going to be a Zen app that Paolo T put together, and we're going to be releasing in the very near future, I believe next week. Stay tuned for that one. And I want to see some comments, guys. I want to see you guys engaged. I want to get feedback from the community. I want to see what you guys think about the improvements that we're doing on our protocol. So, on the big EVM topic, so the next big delivery for us going beyond Token Mint, the importance obviously is huge for the ecosystem in terms of getting this ecosystem, getting smart contracting. And, from my perspective, I'm just really proud of the team for the way that they've pulled together and accelerated just intensely this particular project to integrate an Ethereum virtual machine into a Horizen sidechain, which, by the way, required refactoring our SDK. We did not build the SDK originally to support Ethereum protocol. So a lot of work went into this. And now we're at the final stage of milestone 1 development. And then we should be expecting testnet release soon. So you heard that we're going to have a demo of it internally this week. So that in itself tells you guys a lot, is the fact that this is at least milestone 1 basically done. So pay attention to testnet, which is a really big deal. Now, on the rest of the organization side supporting this, we really do need to get all of our heads in the Horizen game here and just accelerate this ecosystem development. So we're now reaching out to a lot of different partners that we want to come in and provide services or dApps or different protocols on our EVM to make it more useful. That's going to be the next big push that we do as an organization, is to get other people that are already established in other EVM ecosystems like Ethereum and others, and get them to come here and build with us so we can have the basic tools and capabilities that other EVMs have. We don't want to build all these things ourselves, although Horizen Labs will be building some of the first key infrastructure just to make sure they get done. But we do want to now bring other developers in here and get more momentum as an ecosystem. So what else? I wanted to leave you guys with what else to expect for the rest of the year. And I keep repeating the same stuff. I do think it's important, just again, expectations and making sure that everyone's aligned and understands exactly what's going on, because that's the kind of transparency that I think we absolutely need. And it's not just about us dictating what we're going to do. We need inputs. We need feedback. There will be some big strategic decisions that have to be made in in the near future even, and Alberto mentioned one of the really big ones is getting our ZK strategy down, on the provable blockchain side. This is going to be a really big deal, and we're going to have a bunch of different options. We're going to have to make some decisions, and even just really every aspect of our system, from the main chain through our ZK strategy to other features we're going to be adding to Cobalt and Token Mint and what we're going to do on the EVM side. We need to get more collaboration inputs from the community. So anyway, let me just list through the big milestones that you can expect for the rest of this year. So expect multiple other deliveries on Token Mint. NFTs is the big focus for me, going from fungible to adding non-fungible token capability into the minting platform. Stay tuned for that. EVM on testnet soon. So we're talking, basically within a month, call it. And hopefully we beat that schedule to wow you guys. And then mainnet. So mainnet release for the EVM, again, really big deal for us to have smart contracting and a whole suite of things that people know and love and expect in Web3 and crypto in Horizen. And then sidechain to sidechain interoperability. Obviously, as soon as we have two blockchains or two sidechains within Horizen, we want them to be able to communicate with each other and transfer tokens. That's also really high on our list. Then choosing this minimal viable path for the fully provable sidechain. Again, this is a really important component for our long run competitiveness. And this is what I see for Horizen to make us different and special and important, like a reason to exist beyond, like what we're doing now, which is just adding minting capability, huge, really important. Adding an EVM, huge, really important, but nothing really new or innovative there. Yes, we're going to try to do a better job on the usability side. We're going to have an angle to cultivate our own brand for Horizen, but that long-term competitive edge is really going to be on delivering important core technology that's differentiated from other ecosystems. And this is going to be on the provability side. So getting sidechain technology where we're not relying on certain certifiers, but actually having cryptographic proofs of state transitions of things that happen on these chains. This is that long run, path to success for us. What we want to do though, is we want to cultivate a short-term win. It really just demonstrates the direction and just this image of what we envision for Horizen long-term, and then couple this with really a long-run grand slam, right? So this is that strategy or major strategy conversation happening right now on the technology side. I know we keep mentioning it for you guys, but it's because it's important and we want to just share what's going on. Obviously, we're going to be sharing a lot more detail in the near future because decisions have to be made in the near future about which path we're taking. And right now I can tell you we are talking to all of the major, called proving system, virtual machine players out there, and we need to choose which one of these angles we want to go down and contribute into, and then pull into like our own products here within Horizen. So anyway, a lot going on. I'll wrap it up with just the final call to action here, the CTA that Lucy mentioned on ZenCon 0. Guys, this is a big deal. Yeah, we're in this bear market. A lot of terrible stuff is going on in crypto, but we have some amazing stuff going on in Horizen. So in a way, we're kind of blissfully or delusionally, sheltered from the bear market going on right now. But I don't care. Like what's going on in Horizen is just awesome, and this is a big inflection point for us as a project. So the timing for ZenCon 0 just makes sense. It's awesome, and yes, it's going to cost a bit of money, but it's well worth it. This is the first time that we're going to bring key members of our community together, or open it up to just really like heavy contributors. Obviously, it has to be kind of small, and it's our first one, so bear with us as we get things right. But we have an awesome team planning it, and already I think it's going to be a pretty awesome event. So for those listening, you probably care enough about Horizen where you might want to come to this event. It's in Milan, Italy, and hopefully we all get to see each other soon. All right, I'll stop there. We can open the Q&A. We have a few minutes.
Very exciting stuff. Okay, so our top question for today is, when will Token Mint be released on mainnet, and what can we do with it? Are there any new features compared to testnet?
So let me, I don't want to spill Victor's beans here. So Victor, if you feel particularly bold today and you want to venture a specific release time, day and time, it's up to you. I'll pass to you and see what you want to input on that.
Thanks, Rob. We can say this week. Okay, but about the features that we have is exactly the same. You can test in testnet now.
You didn't want to say what day, Victor. That's okay. This week, guys.
I definitely see pretty soon in chat from Angie as well. Very exciting. Okay, so on to question number 2. Crypto bridges have become a security concern and a prime target for hackers. How does Horizen ensure security, and what else could be done to strengthen existing security in bridges?
All right, this is a big one. let me first tackle with more of the business end of what we're thinking, because we're launching the EVM soon, and we are going to have to deal with this. We will have to, or say we want to, for sure, bridge into other ecosystems like Ethereum. We will have to deal with this challenge, and as an organization, we're now thinking through how we want to do it. I'll tell you my preference. My preference is other known, well-established, successful bridge players, not bridge players, it sounds like a card game, bridges in crypto. We entice them to come and build in Horizen as well, to bridge from Ethereum to Horizen. This is the most important thing that we have to do at some point in the near future, say as close to day one EVM launch as possible. We want to get an important bridge established with Ethereum. My preference is that someone else does it who has a lot of experience there. Now, what I can say is Horizen Labs is investigating and analyzing the bridge world to see what type of technology exists, so we can better understand what type of bridge we want to focus on. And if we have to build it, it's something that we're considering. But like you said, it's one of these things that does come with a lot of risk, because this seems to be where a lot of the security vulnerabilities lay in our industry right now. And I'd rather people who have experience specifically releasing this type of technology into production do it. That said, we actually have a much better longer-term plan with provability, and here's where I'd like Alberto to come in and fill in some of those thoughts.
Oh yeah, thank you, Rob. Yes, let's say that we're moving on with provability of the sidechains, and these has many advantages like the scalability itself of the whole ecosystem, security, but also provides a way for having secure bridges. Because if you think about it, also when we are allowing the communication between the sidechain and the main chain, we are doing it in a secure way by using snarks, and in particular when we have the full history proven on the sidechain side, you will be able to provide a cryptographic proof of a statement regarding a specific blockchain. And this is, is making the bridges secure and not using any kind of trusted party, but using or believing in the security of the cryptographic primitives that you used for proving the statements. For example, the transfer between two different sidechains, and the sidechain-to-sidechain protocol is also using that. So yeah, that's how we will manage it when we will have the full history proven on the sidechain side.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So our third and final question for today is, what are the next steps for EVM sidechain for community participation? When can we test?
It's a great question. So I don't know if I want to punt again to Victor to venture a specific date on testnet launch, but we don't have one. It's the reality. So I won't even bother punting there to make Victor uncomfortable. The reality is it'll be soon because we're doing our demo internally this week, and hopefully, like per Rosario's comment here in Discord, we can do a community demo next week. I think that's a bold suggestion. I'd like to do that. And then from there, really, we need to actually launch a network or testnet. And as soon as we're on testnet, public testnet, we want everyone testing. We'll have test campaigns. We'll have different things that people can do on the marketing side to just get involved. And I want you guys to do exactly that. So it's a really big deal for us. And the more people we get, eyes on and testing and trying to break it, the better. So roughly expecting about a month. which is kind of crazy to say that. I can't wait to say, expect like in a week. So we'll get there. But bear with us, and we'll roll from these demos to actual testnet launch.
Awesome, very exciting, and I'm sure that you'll end up seeing some HDE tasks and other tasks to do as a community member as we come closer to EVM. But that is it for our weekly insider today, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining us. We will see you again next Monday for the latest Horizen updates. Have a great